going on, guys, and welcome back. Today's deck, kid you not, might be the best deck currently in Marvel Snap. Boosted Patriot is an absolute machine in pumping power in all three locations, has the perfect amount of flexible spots to keep up with the meta, and keeps the majority of its cards below the all-dangerous Shang-Chi zone. The Marvel Snap meta is in an awesome spot at the moment. There are so many different kind of decks amongst a good amount of archetypes competing for their place of a top spot in Conquest and the ladder. Now, of course, it was only a matter of time until Patriot found himself back into the meta, right? If you look at the past year of the best decks, Patriot lists just kind of find themselves to balance everything out every now and then. The past couple of weeks on the Snapchat, some podcasts, I was saying Patriot is going to firmly find himself back. And with the recent buff to cards like Forge and Absorbing Man, he's an easy winner and a really great deck at the moment. In fact, today's deck show is from the winner of Twitch Rivals in Moyen. The thing just operates like a machine. And today we're going to break down the key cards, replacements, ways to not just net deck it, but make it to something that you like to play. And then, of course, counters and how to pilot the deck. Now, taking a closer look at the keys to the deck, we have to start with Forge after the recent buff to his power gifting 3 instead of 2. Now, we knew the change was going to be major for Silver Surfer. That extra power was going to make Brood a machine. However, Patriot is by far the biggest winner from the changes because you have cards like Brood, which is an insane power machine, spitting out things that can be boosted by Patriot. Silver Surfer can boost up both Patriot and the Broodlings. And then, of course, something like Mr. Sinister, which is yet another thing that benefits from Forge and the Patriot. Now, combine all of this with one of the most recent OTA cards in Absorbing Man, who can copy both Sinister and Brood and Silver Surfer, and that's when things get completely nutty. Now, he's going to be making Broodlings of his own. Those can, in turn, be triggered by Silver Surfer and Patriot, which is why you have so many play lines and win conditions. It makes it extremely hard to counter and compete with because it can spread so wide. Now, obviously, guys, Iron Lad, right? Insane as well. If he copies really anything, he's going to be benefiting. You have Blue Marvel, you've got Mr. Sinister, you have Patriot bonuses, and then, of course, he can make the Broodlings himself at 6 power. What truly makes this deck a complete threat is that you have a play line no matter what. Doesn't really matter about the hand, and that is why America Chavez is pretty important. She's able to push down these reliable options, and you can play lines like Forge into Mr. Sinister, you can do Forge into Brood, both of those followed up by Absorbing Man, Mr. Sinister followed by Patriot. You can do Mr. Sinister and Brood and then boost them later. There's really not a bad play to be have, keeping you in the game the entire time. Now, ideally, you could play Forge into Brood, into Absorbing Man, then turn 5 you have Blue Marvel, and then finally you can follow up with maybe a 3-cost in Patriot and Silver Surfer, just pumping a ridiculous amount of power between all 3 lanes. Now, you might have noticed we have tons of flexible spots in here, and that's probably what makes the deck so damn good. There are so many different cards that you can plug in. It doesn't change the core of the deck, and as long as you have the cards that we just talked about, with obviously Iron Lad being the hardest to achieve, you're going to be able to run the deck with extreme consistency. Hell, even without Iron Lad, the deck's still good. Obviously, its power cap is a little lower, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the best replaceable options and the ones that you might want to plug into, depending on a few factors, decks you don't like to lose against, things that you might have in your collection, and your personal playstyle. Now, let's first talk about some cheap cost cards that you might want to have as that first replaceable slot. Now, I personally love Echo at the moment. I think she's a great card to counter a good chunk of the meta, heck, in mirror matches that you might run up against with this Patriot deck. Null and Destroy, definitely a good card to be had. But obviously, guys, Armor's probably the best spot at the moment, right? Destroy is effing everywhere. People love to play the deck. Its popularity is through the roof. And so Armor doesn't hinder you at all, and it really helps out the deck. You don't have any huge cards because they're all going to be boosted to not over 8 power most of the time. And so Armor is a very good flex spot at the moment. Other 2-cost cards like Luke Cage, you're spreading this deck so wide. A lot of negative factors that can go in there. Hell, if you hate losing to high Evo and that Cyclops that's shooting lasers on your side, definitely Luke Cage is a great option. And even things like Scarlet Witch we saw played because obviously Magic and Legion. We have a lot of location winners at the moment, and Scarlet Witch kind of keeps all that in check. In fact, one of the best decks, I got to mention this, right now is a Leech and a turn 7 deck. First of all, Scarlet Witch can take care of that Limbo, but also, guys, you've got the Patriot to go ahead and help you if you get your hand Leech, and you already have them out. Those cards are going to get boosted in your hand. So it's really good against the meta at the moment. You can obviously plug in cards like Shang-Chi if you're losing to big, powerful cards. The meta is kind of focused on not playing Shang-Chi cards at the moment. But of course, you're going to run into Shuri and Death and Null and big power cards that if you want to be safe, you can play Shang-Chi in the deck. If you like to have a very cheap and awesome option, Wasp is another card that obviously is going to be free, and you get the Patriot bonus off her as well. So just a good card to be plugging in there. Heck, guys, any Patriot card is a good fillable option, I think, in my opinion, for the most part in this deck build. Cyclops is one that I personally play with because you get the boost from Patriot, you get the boost from Surfer, and he just kind of fits in the deck nicely, in my opinion, making him a consistent 3/8 power. Now that we're talking about 3 costs, let's talk about some replaceable options in the 3 cost. Shadow King right now, obviously, is not going to affect your Patriot cards. Obviously, be careful where you play him against Forge or your boosted up Broods. That can be affected by Shadow King, but it's another Patriot card that can be boosted up. Really good option here, especially in the current meta. Now, I get made fun of all the time for boasting this card, and I know I'm going to get crap for this. I think Dazzler also has a place in the deck. This thing is going to fill locations quite easily, and Dazzler can become a 3/8. On top of that, you have to remember, every card going into this deck could be Iron Lad, right? So having Dazzler be copied from Iron Lad, you're going to have now a potential, +6 power, making Iron Lad a 4/12 if you fill out the locations. So I love Dazzler in that sense. I think Iron Lad will benefit the most. Obviously, guys, Storm, Cosmo, I think these cards can fit in as well. Now, lastly, let's talk some big high-cost replacement options. Number 1, Legion, obviously, is just a great card. He's a good value card. He can win games by himself, and if you're playing Conquest, Legion is very hard to replace. So if you do have Legion, I do recommend plugging him in. I think he's a great fillable option. And for whatever reason, if you're not huge on Chavez, although I do recommend putting her in this deck, which I don't always recommend, but in this specific build, I like her here because it's going to make your overall draw more consistent. And you kind of want that with this build so that you can get the Absorbing Man combo after Brood as much as possible. Now let's go ahead and talk counters. I think this deck is going to be everywhere. It was designed to not be countered by, Shang-Chi. It's hard to counter it even with Shadow King because you have Patriot boost. The thing is very consistent in the way that it operates. Now I want to talk about Green Goblin here because I think he represents the Clog archetype. Clog is probably, or Toxic Clog, is probably the best deck to play against this. Filling their lanes with cards before they can Brood or Sinister out is going to be the most dependable way against it. Having the Viper Hood plays, having maybe Debris out there, Green Goblin, that's going to be, in my opinion, the best way to counter it at the moment. Even though Patriot can boost up those rocks, you're not giving them as much space to work with, which obviously Lockdown could also work in that way. Having Echo on your own, Rogue, or Enchantress for mirror matches. Hell, Super Scroll, if this gets really big, could be massive because you can just copy their Patriot bonus that they get. Blue Marvel, things like that. So if you're trying to counter the deck, that's the route that I would go. So we're about to jump into some pilot matches, but let me go ahead and go through a couple variants and versions of the deck builds. You have ones like this one with Wasp. This was the Moyen edition that did win Twitch Rivals. He did have, I believe, Scarlet Witch because of the opponent and Alex actually from the Snapchat at the time. But you can go ahead and plug in different options. Armor is probably that preferred choice, but this is one version of the build. Now, my personal version that I'll be running today in Conquest, I got to throw Cyclops in there. I'm sure, maybe there's a better card, but I think Cyclops does the same thing as these other cards. Just gets benefit no matter the draw you have between Patriot and Surfer. So I do like him a ton. Mystique could be plugged in here because of Blue Marvel and Patriot. You don't really want or need her, though, because you don't want to push over that 8 power sometimes. But at the same time, you're boosting up all the Broods with her as well. So she could be a fantastic option in a build like this that focuses more on the Surfer side. So with all that, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Conquest, show you how the deck pilots, how do you run it, and what to do against certain decks out there. Let's go ahead and jump in. Also, I'm streaming this obviously from the new PC client, so hopefully you guys like the new overlay. I'm going to continue to perfect it, but I think this is a decent start. It took way too long to build a new overlay here. I know some things look a little wonky, like this transition screen, but here we go, guys. We've got ourselves Thor, and we start with the destroyed deck, Sokovia. We lose Echo and Null, which I think are pretty much... he lost his best card. We lost the card to counter that card, so... not bad. Let's go and jump into our Second turn here, we have Lost Diablo, so really nothing too important. But as you see, guys, already, without doing much, we've got the best play pattern possible. We've got our Forge, we've got the Brood, we've got a Absorbing Blue Marvel. This is literally the best curve that you can have in the deck. We're going to go ahead and snap into it because, yeah, well, this is our best hand. This is like having Zabu and Mr. Negative, right? So, feel pretty good about this, and we're not too worried about Destroy because we do have armor if we can draw her in time. Onslaught Citadel just makes this even more ridiculous, and we know that he lost his Null. This could destroy it, so we'll have to look out for that. But we're going to go ahead and play Brood here in the middle lane. Absorbing Man probably in the left lane, depending on Lost Diablos and what happens. So, great example there, guys. 5 power each. We have 15 power, and that's without the Patriot and Surfer. So you can live just see why this is so freaking ridiculous. And then from here, it's just like it's textbook, guys. We're going to play Absorbing Man, copy that Brood, go into the left lane. He's probably going to retreat at that point. Actually, looking back, should have put that in the right lane. No big deal. We're going to live just fine. Also, one thing I wanted to shout out is the PC tracker down below. Now that Marvel snaps out on PC, this thing just helps out a ton. I'll put the link in the description so that you can grab it. But just super helpful in majority of decks that you're looking to play. Typically, Blue Marvel would be the card we want to play here. I expect that Arnim Zola could come out, so this might be advantageous. There's a lot of different play patterns we can go with. But I feel like if I do this, he's out. We want to kind of make him believe that he can win. So we're going to throw a Blue Marvel over here. Not give up all of our cards yet, right? And then we know Chavez will be our next one. Good stuff. All right, so he does have Null. We know that if he sticks in this, he's definitely losing at least 2 cubes. Or 4 cubes, but he retreated there. Obviously, armor, and then either Iron Lad to try to copy Patriot or Silver Surfer. If you look at the cards we have available, the Iron Lad armor play would have been so nutty because we got a value no matter what. So really good first game to showcase it. Great way to get things kicking off. Round 2. All right, we got Bar with no name. Obviously, that's not going to do much. Again, look at our opening hand here. Forge into Mr. Sinister into Absorbing Man. Good play line, except Sokovia comes back to bite us. So a bit of a bummer there. Either way, we should be okay. Let's go Forge again into most likely Sinister again. And we have Atlantis, which doesn't help us out too much. We do have priority, and so this is kind of a tough call here. Sinister makes more sense for obviously pure value, but I think I'm just going to go the armor route, and we might snap this. I feel like this is going to cripple him. You know, he might destroy this right away. He might not, but either way, this is obviously the game plan he's trying to get done. If this is Bucky Barnes, he's absolutely toast. If it's not, it's still going to put him in a bit of a bind. So we are going to go against the Sinister there and completely ruin his play. So far, so good, guys. Love where this is going. Now, this is our ticket to counter the Null that, you know, we would expect him to play. And if we look at the cards that we have Patriot, Brood, Surfer, Blue Marvel. Good lord, I love Iron Lad in this deck. It's value city no matter what. Any of these cards, we would love the hit with Iron Lad. So we're going to play him by himself in Atlantis. It's Surfer. So I would say any card but that one. We didn't have any 3-cost down, but doesn't matter. Yadu kills him anyway. Well, that was a turn of events. But we're still okay. Now, obviously, some of the other cards we talked about, Shadow King would be good here. Shang-Chi would have value. So, you know, looking at the deck you might play, look at these games and see what you would do. We don't have Patriot yet. We don't have Blue Marvel. I feel like Brood is not a bad choice. Now, Brood is tempting here, but we don't have all the cards we need at the moment. I think we're going to go Echo here. Maybe he plays Null here. Maybe he doesn't. But either way, I feel Echo could be a decent play. Well, we're probably gonna get Patriot now on turn 7. All right, we have Chavez, we have Sinister, we have Brood. if the Null's here, the guy hasn't destroyed much cards like whatsoever. And this is going to be difficult. This could be his death lane, but we're just going to build up power now. And Blue Marvel or Patriot are great options. He plays the death like we expected. That's where Shang-Chi could come in handy. We find ourselves in a bit of a predicament, right? Because we can't really boost up a ton of these two cards right here. Bar with no name, he could have something like Hood and throw us off there. I'm gonna guess that he doesn't. And Patriot is only gonna boost up so much. He's snapping here. He's snapping here. Because we're in a bit of a bind, we know we can't play Null right side. My only thing is we don't know his whole deck at all. And this could very well be like a Hood that he could sneak the win. And then we would end up losing, right? If I did this is 14. We could get him to 16, but that's the max. We're going to go ahead and retreat this. We're going to play on the safe side. Find out his deck a little bit more. No need to push that, right? Typically, retreat. If you have a way of losing, you might as well go ahead and be a little bit more on the passive side. Albeit, I don't think he has a Hood, but it could have been Legion. There's a lot of cards. I don't know. A lot of cards we could have lost to.
This just in.
All right, well, we got his death. That's like his best card. Again, opening line, armor to counter him. Forge into Mr. Sinister and Absorbing Man and the death. It's a pretty easy snap, guys. We have the counters. We have his best card. It's kind of a no-brainer. If he gets Absorbing Man, that's good for him. But the other cards, Forge is pretty good for him too. We could armor now, but you know, guys, we really don't know where he's going to be playing these cards down. So we'll go with Forge and Sinister. That way we have priority now to shut down what he's trying to do. Now, he could magic this, so we got to keep in mind that that's a good possibility. Let's go and play Mr. Sinister as Crimson Cosmos. Is probably one of the worst locations for our deck because we do have some cheap cards that we would like to play there. Alrighty, magic comes out, and that's kind of what we needed, man. Kind of what we needed. He could do Null and Arnim Zola, and you know, that could be problematic. Not a ton of ways we can stop that. And we're going to go ahead and play Absorbing Man into Crimson Cosmos here, I believe. If he does Null and Arnim Zola, that's going to be the hardest play line to beat. All right, most likely that's the only play that he had plausible. Iron Lad would copy Patriot Surfer or Echo. Victory. He's going to go ahead and retreat, but we had so many play lines plus the death, so we definitely snapped at the right time. We got ourselves a passive player, but I like it. It gives me more time to explain how we're going to be running this deck. Savage Land's kind of fun as it benefits him and me, right? He can destroy these with Carnage. We can boost him up with Patriot. If we had armor, definitely the lane we want to protect. We can do Patriot into Brood already, so not bad. And he should snap on me here because this is going to be a good location for him. We're going to play Forge into it and maybe pull our armor, try to close that thing up before things get too nutty. But he already has a very greedy deck. I would be shocked if he doesn't snap here. Spider-Man, point him. And we have Machine World. All right. I mean, we can start giving him Patriot. Like, we could do this. I don't want to give him Blue Marvel. We can start giving him these cards because he won't benefit as much, and he's probably going to destroy these in a second. It's problematic. There's the armor. So finally that armor comes in. He still gets to go before us, which is a bit of a problem. If he snaps, I'll probably leave. But let's just see what he plays here. And, you know, we still have a good chance to put up some decent numbers. If he plays like Killmonger in here and then I armor and it kills our Raptors, it's probably all she wrote. We probably should leave at that point, but let's see what he does. Oh! That was almost bad. We gave him the Echo for free fodder, so that's kind of bad. But I think now we just put him in a much tougher position to win. Surfer and Absorbing Man is going to be awesome for Limbo. For the last second play here. So Brood obviously isn't bad. He's snapping now, and it might be worth it to stick in this thing. He's probably going to destroy these cards over there. So we'll Blue Marvel middle. There's the Killmonger. There's the Deathlock. Okay. Again, this is going to give us a healthy dose of power. We can then Absorbing Man that and play, Cyclops, Iron Lad. So I like what we have here. I'm panicked that I didn't play it in the right order, so let's do this to ensure that we did. And, yeah, this should be pretty damn good play here. All right, there's the Null. Then we have Iron Lad, which could be Mr. Sinister, or it can be Cyclops. Either of them not too good. And we can expect Death to come out too, right? If we play Surfer, we're adding 2 there, plus we're adding 7, so this is going to be 17. We're adding, obviously, a colossal amount over here. We could easily lose this. We have some health to spare, so we are going to full send it. I'm going to go ahead and play it out. I don't know, man. 25, the Death. If he plays Death in 1 card, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close here. All right, he full sends that left side. That pushes it at 25. Oh, boy. Yeah, dude, he read that like a effing book. That hurt, man. That hurt. Priority was big there. If we didn't have priority, we probably could have won it. Probably could have won it, but we didn't. That's great. That's a great takeaway. That's something that could happen, right? So, luckily we have 4 health. He has like 6. So at this point, we're in round 5, high stakes round. We just got to be more consistent than him, right? So we could definitely win this still. As we have a pretty optimal play line with Brood, Absorbing Man, and then Blue Marvel, Patriot, plus maybe Surfer. Okay, so card definitely makes things a bit difficult in some regard. We're going to play Echo down just in case it pulls like his Null or something. Fantastic. Oh. Wait a second. Excuse me. What does this card say? After your opponent's play an ongoing card? This doesn't count as play. Holy crap. I've played more Echo than just about anyone, I feel like, and I just learned something new today. I just learned something new. Also, well, never mind. I think he doesn't know that I didn't... What's happening? What I was about to say is this little energy thing that you're seeing here. Sorry about this right here. This is going to happen until they fix it on untap. It will cover my energy, but for now, not a big deal. That guy totally didn't put together that this wasn't going to... Whatever, we got 2 cubes off the top. I'll take it. That was a weird battle. Okay, Dream Dimension hurts.
Opponent snapped.
Hurts our deck a little bit. Do we want to go into this game? Why would he be snapping? We already have our Forge and a Sinister. We'll play this out. That's fine. Oh, come on now. That's it. We just lost. This is the best Venom location. This is a location I can't pump up my Sinister or Broods because he can simply just Shang-Chi them. That's brutal, man. I wonder if I don't Surfer or Patriot to the last play of the game, then they won't be above the Shang-Chi zone and we could win. So we could actually... This is obviously the better play. Oh my gosh. This is brutal too, but hold on. Like right now, this would make them all Shang-Chi-able. We don't want to do that. I guess we go right side here. And then obviously, Blue Marvel, Patriot could win it for us. All right, Blue Marvel, there we go. We can't play him on turn 5 though, so we have to keep that in mind. So more cards, the better here, right? This would take these both up to 7. That's completely fine. He's definitely going to go null. Okay. Nice. The only issue with this, the only thing with playing this right now, even though this is what we want to do, is we for sure would give the priority. It's almost best. I think so. Yo, it's almost best. Like, this could screw our priority too. It's either best to play nothing here, guys, or to play right there. Do we play nothing or do we play Cyclops? Nothing or Cyclops. I'm going to regret this no matter what, I think. Cyclops mid would be a decent decision because he might do something fancy here. I think we're going to go with this. Okay. So this would then boost these all still in the safe zone. So we have that going for us. We could also just play Chavez left side. I think we're going to go with Blue Marvel here. And we could go... He's going to be able to pull off the Zola too. Man, this is tough, guys. This is tough. Let's go here. All right, so he could have his best play. If we lose this, it is what it is. His best play would be like Death, Deadpool, Shang-Chi. Death, Deadpool, Shang-Chi. Does he do it? If he Shang-Chi's a lane, it might be this middle one. Or the right one, either or. We could just spread ourselves out, or it won't matter as much. He can only Shang-Chi one lane. We lost the priority game here, and location-wise, definitely favor to him, but let's go ahead and ship it. This is getting the best of Surfer and the best of both worlds. Maybe he assumes that we don't have the armor, or we have the armor. All right, he didn't play left. That's huge. There's the Shang-Chi. We lose Patriot too? Oh my god, I can't believe we lost Patriot just then.
Victory.
Man! Why was that so crazy for the first game? That was so insane. I can't even believe it. With the one thing I would have obviously done different is played Patriot here, Surfer here. Didn't do the mental numbers on Surfer giving Patriot the over the 8 with the Blue Marvel. Either way, though, man, proud of this one, even though this last one came to the final play. The overlay's looking pretty clean. I definitely like what we have going on. Battle number 2. Let's hop in. All right, let's get it going. We have Elysium to start us off here. And, you know, couldn't think of probably... I don't know if I could think of a better location, but this is pretty dang good. Let's go and get armor out now. We're going to start here, and then we can go into either Sinister, then Absorbing Man. Maybe we get Brood, but either way, this is like a free Sarah, right? So we're going to be cooking. He is going to have a lot of power to spread, but I think we can beat Discard reliably. Good news is, guys, we already know the deck they're going to have. Bad news is, I haven't gone up against Discard here, so I'd be surprised by the results either way. He's going to be snapping right off the bat. We already got Brood, so I'm thinking we're going to simply snap too. I mean, why not? We'll go Brood right side because we don't know the location. So it could be something we couldn't play him into, but at the same time, we can move him to New York, which I like our odds. And we're going to snap into it, too. We got our Wombo combo, which is all we need. Our Brood and Absorbing Man lanes can beat the APOC Drac combo if we do it the right way. And we have a free Echo just in case we need to beat out the Morbius. Oh, man. What crap. This is horrible. What a bummer. Okay, we actually can't play our Absorbing Man. Sadly. because of Pet Mansion. What a bummer, guys. What a freaking bummer, guys. Maybe we go with Sinister now? Even though we don't get the spread, we go Sinister now? Yeah, I guess so. We could also do Surfer now. What an awkward play that was. Well, that ruined our curve a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. What's up, guys? Editor Cozy here. Don't do what I did there. It was a dumbass and didn't realize with the Elysium that I was only on turn 3. I thought at the moment that I was wasting 4 energy when it wasn't that big of a deal. So obviously, I just skip here, right? And then you play Absorbing Man next turn. Anyway, back to the battle. Don't be a dumbass like me. Now, he still has priority, which is also somewhat of a problem. Let's go Absorbing Man left side. We could use Absorbing Man for Surfer to build these broods up extremely high instead of the Sinister split. And we don't have Patriot, so that might be a better option. Seems a bit crazy to do that, but I think that's the route that I want to go. Surprisingly enough. All right, Wolverine's down. And the Swarm, so he's got a lot of Swarm copies to play. We got our Blue Marvel. And we got our Wombo combo of Silver Surfer. Yeah, so we're going to go Iron Lad if it hits Patriot or Forge. Awesome. If it hits Cyclops, still works out. Chavez is the next pull, though. So let's go ahead and Iron Lad and Surfer here. We're going to do Surfer now because we know Chavez is next, right? Oh my god, we got a Hella. Hello. Oh, we got the Patriot. Hot damn. All right, we're looking good to go, I think, now. Because this guy's only got, he's got the Swarms to play. So we have 14 over here. If we play Absorbing Man, that pushes us to 19 plus the 2. So we actually would win left side and right side would look promising as well. I like the odds. I think it's going to be pretty close. But, yeah, he just has a lot of Swarms to play. So this is going to be an 8-cube win either way here. As he stacks it out high, we're going to slam the Echo. So, unfortunately, we probably should have played middle. Oh, boy. Oh, he's got the Black Hat, too. Holy crap. We should be fine either way. Because we know the APOC... He hasn't built up that APOC, right? Yeah, so the APOC, that's going to put him at 25. Nice. All right. We got an 8-cuber. And we played pretty dang well, I would say, against discard. That was a pretty solid battle overall, and that kind of highlights why I like Echo Man. People are they're just not used to playing around her. Don't know why, but they're not. We'll play it out. Why not? We'll show how it does against discard, and obviously Raft is going to be one of the best locations right up there with Gamma Lab, because we're able to not only fill it out very easily, but then also we're going to go ahead and now have everything move over to Bifrost too, which is kind of cool to open up the lanes. We just got our Absorbing Man, so if he didn't snap, we would have snapped here. We're going to get our free card. We're going to Absorbing Man back into the Raft, and then we have a leader to end it here. So probably couldn't ask for a better hand or better draw. Our broods will be nailed by Jotunheim, which is semi-problematic. They're still so good though. I mean, we could take the hit. They become like regular broods, right? All right, cool. Like, yeah, we lose a total of 6 power. And what's cool is because this was after, this doesn't trigger the turn they were there, right? So that works out. It was after and after. Kind of interesting how that play order goes. All right, next turn here, we can go Patriot. We can go just Blue Marvel, which is probably not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm thinking, guys, I'm pretty sure I want to go Blue Marvel. And then we play Leader, Surfer, and Patriot.
Enough said, bub.
Ooh, X23, hello. All right, Dracula yet again is in our Broodling lane, which is awesome. Our Echo obviously is not going to be able to stop the Morbius unless that guy does a terrible play yet again. And I don't think he's going to play on the right side too heavy. So let's go and go Patriot into Silver Surfer, and then we're going to Leader right side and copy whatever on this side. Actually, no. We want to do this. he was like, he knew exactly what was going to happen. Wow. 2 back-to-back double hits.
Victory.
Obviously, having the Absorbing Man after the Brood, it just makes it so freaking tough. And the Patriot and the Surfer, we had like maximum freaking power with minimal effort, right? So this is where the deck shines. And discard, although a obviously really good archetype, it can't keep up. The Broodlings, man. That Broodling lane is effing nuts. All right, time to wrap it up in the final battle to get our Infinity ticket. Yeah, I want to go up against probably the Craven deck. A regular Surfer deck would be interesting too. Let's see what we get matchup-wise. Here we go. Well, let's hope we're not playing a Destroy deck. I actually don't hate these rocks. And we don't have a 2-cost card. So we're actually going to play Echo in the middle here. And not destroy our rocks. If we're going up against a Patriot deck or something that has Killmonger, then we're going to back out of there. But for now, why not? We didn't even get a 2-cost card, so either way, they're going to be destroyed. So that's a bit of a bummer. But we do have Sakaar, which outside of Absorbing Man, we get pretty good profit. Let's hope it's not him. Nice. Hey, we got a Surfer. We got a Surfer. I like it. And he's giving us cards, which is obviously huge. Daily Bugle, more cards. We got Juggernaut. We could have given him Cyclops, which would be a problem. And we got Brood in the Absorbing Man. So this is a definite snap. We already have our win condition. We're going to Brood, Absorbing Man. Holy crap. This is going to be stupid good.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Perfect. Okay, and we'll play Absorbing Man. I think I like him in the middle. Although I don't mind challenging this right lane because of the Echo. So maybe we'll go to the right lane. If he plays Juggernaut, we'll be okay. Now, Broodling versus Broodling. However, we've got Patriot and potentially Surfer. So we kind of win that battle. Unless he has like the Wong or whatever. All right, I'm like 99% sure we only have Surfer and Chavez left. I'm pretty sure Chavez is at the bottom, even though she's next turn. She's at the bottom, which means we guarantee to get the Surfer hit. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, which is going to be massive for us here. Yeah, there we go, because we don't have any rock shuffling, nothing like that. We build all those up. Absolutely huge. And this guy should retreat. You would hope he retreats here. Because we're going to build up wide and tall. So I think we go Patriot and Cyclops here. He can't out... yeah, he's out here.
Victory.
This guy's going to have a tough time, man. He's going to have a tough time. He can Killmonger our Echo. But that's about the only thing he can do better than us. If we get our curve going, we're going to be looking in a really good spot. All right, round 2. All right, we have Sanctum, and we do have Forge into Brood, so almost snappable. Almost snappable. We want to get Patriot or Surfer. We're having some errors here. Well, we got kicked out, which is a bummer, but luckily we were able to reconnect. Savage Land is going to be good for us, not him. And we can also armor that lane as well. We're a little tight on space, but I don't think he can get into this lane either way. So we're going to Forge in the middle. Oh my god. We hit up the Brood. We're not going to be able to play this effing card, probably. But I think we just snap into this. I think it's fine, because we go Brood, and then we protect the Raptors with armor, and then we just play Patriot. Potentially. Or we actually kind of want him to kill those Raptors, so we have room for other cards. Yeah, dude, this could be a bad day for this guy. We have Echo to stop his Sarah. He may not even need to Sarah, so potentially we just hit him with the Patriot here. Oh my god. So it's 1-1, but we have the Patriot. That's our bonus there. And we have the Surfer to finish us off. This is hot garbage, obviously. I think we do nothing. Just see what he plays. All right. You know, he can hit us with a 6. I mean, this could be a big 6, like a huge 6 cost, right? If he killmongers us, yeah, dude, I think he was in more of a bind than we are. Because we just Surfer, we can then build up the right lane even more, and we should win the power difference. He obviously didn't get a huge 6 cost card, and both decks can't play in the Sanctum. So that was big. We snapped at the right time. Good to go. All right, we got Sewer System. I'm going to go Echo middle instead of left. Nice. Arguably, we could want to win this because we get the rock. But we're going to go, instead of Forge, because we don't have Brood or Sinister, we're actually just going to protect this so that our Echo doesn't die, and it forces him to play into the right or left lane for his Sarah. This is kind of massive. This is actually really good for him. If he has Brood right now, that's going to be a ton of power. Let's go Forge. It's kind of risky to go Forge there. We can go Forge left side. That's okay. I think it's just going to move the 1, though. Yeah, okay. Kind of nice for him because he can spread that power out, but now he's stuck with that rock in the middle, and he can't really do much with Echo. This Iron Lad is Patriot, Brood, Blue Marvel, or Mr. Sinister. All of those absolutely crazy. We're going to go with Iron Lad here and snap. I think outside of him storming Aunt May's, I really like our chances with our Lad. If we hit Brood, it's going to be filthy because we also have the Iron Lad. If we get Sinister, it's going to be filthy.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Either way, it's looking pretty good. That's fine. In fact, he did us a favor. Oh, I kind of wanted it to be Sinister. Or Brood, I guess. But, all right, we have an 11 power freaking Iron Lad. That's monstrous. Yeah, we'll do double Blue Marvels here. So I think this gets us the dubs. He can't play. This is a pretty strong play. It's not like the best play, but we have double Blue Marvel, so we're at 18. We have 1 pass. We can push this to 20. And he already has, he could go Maximus, right? Which is his best play. And then he can add 2 to that. Does he push left side? Let's act like he's going to go middle here. A little bit risky. If we lose it, we're tied. Go left. Ooh. Uh-oh. He's got the rogue. He's got the rogue. Okay, good on him. This is cool, man. This is a fun matchup. All right, we're not going to make that mistake again. Touche. Good stuff. We didn't have enough power to build up. Really, without getting Sinister, Patriot, Brood, probably foolish for me to stay, but either way, I think that was, it was cool to see a matchup like that. Round 4. All tied up, folks. All tied up, and we do have our Forge, Sinister, Brood play. Now, do you go Forge, Sinister, or Forge, Brood? I mean, I pretty much always go Brood. Obviously, because the way curve goes, you always go Brood. Unless, you know, I don't know, for some reason you wouldn't want to. But let's play Forge down left side. Okay. If we get Patriot, it's all but over. It's all but over. We're actually going to put Brood left and cap ourselves out early. Mainly because this could end up being Bar Sinister. And we want to take advantage of the multiple surfers.
Wind,
oh boy.
aid my hand.
Okay, he goes Storm. This is insane. Woo! Okay, we lucked out there a little bit. I was hoping that wasn't flooding. We would have to pick between the 2 of them. We're going to go Absorbing Man in this lane. He might have Brood.
Neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Holy crap. Okay. Dude, this guy's, he's doing some work. He's doing some work. I think we might be okay, though. He could just go left side and beat us, yeah? And he's got the Nova. He should be able to win this. So we'll go ahead and retreat. We'll play on the safe side.
Escaped.
Okay, we're in the high stakes round now. Could be playing for 4. We're seeing how the matchup does in the mirror match. So we head into turn 2. I kind of like the idea of forging Strange Academy and spreading the broods out a little bit. But the Absorbing Man makes things interesting as well. This is gonna be
Breaking news.
very interesting. We know he's gonna storm. I expect him to storm potentially Strange. We have priority, so let's go and just pop these broods down mid. Oh, he went storm here for sure. Nice.
Wind, aid my hand.
We are gonna snap here. We're definitely gonna snap here. Because we're gonna play... Oh, nice. Okay, we called it out. So I think we could have just easily won with the Absorbing Man the next lane. So we are, yet again, folks, all tied up. And if either of us snap, we play for glory here. We can echo left lane. This doesn't do all too much for us. Negative zone. This could potentially be where he storms. Interesting. I think we're gonna armor middle.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Fine with this. Open up the right lane a little bit more. Now, we also have priority, so if he decides to storm this lane, we're in business. But it's turn 4, and we just played armor, so a bit awkward here. I think we're going to hit him with the Cyclops mid. Because we could boost that up with Patriot. If we could, we really need our Patriot, is what we're looking at here. Don't mind this. We can go Cyclops. If that's the storm lane, we're in trouble. Okay, nice. We got our Patriot. Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go Blue Marvel, because if he rogues us, I think our Echo just cancels it out. Well, there goes the Echo. He just played that perfectly. What? Okay. What? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We end up taking over this probably, right? 4, 6, 8. And he could add a good amount more than that. Dude, this is going to be so close. Do we just play Chavez here? Chavez adds 9. This is adding 2. This is adding 6. And we spread ourselves out. Yo, this is a tough decision. Let's go with it. I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it, folks. Oh, it's going to be so clutch. Oh, my God. Let's go. Let's go. Huge. Neck and neck battle. But we clutch victory. Fist bumps. The mirror match is insane. We had some crazy things happen. The Rogue build really helped him because there could be several builds of Silver Surfer, but the Rogue was huge for him here. And just like that, guys, we get ourselves yet another Infinity ticket. This deck is just in such a good spot. I mean, it has so many different win conditions. The play patterns are very simple. Listen, I think decks can beat it. The Clog deck or just different power building decks, you know, 2 tall lanes like Shuri. But then you could just slot the counter, right? The Shang-Chi, the Scarlet Witch. There's a lot of ways to counter decks that could give you trouble, right? Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe down below, as over 60% of you guys that watch on a daily basis hate me. As always, guys, thanks for picking this channel, and until the next one, happy snapping.